Workforce leveraging is one of the areas that we picked for 2014 because there's no other issue that affects our clients more than the economy and how their workforce can be more productive. So the use of health and productivity and absence management techniques that helps leverage the workforce to give them more productivity is a huge issue for our customers this year.
Increasingly, we are asked in operations to find people who have bilingual capabilities. And that's because we're operating more and more in the hospitality segment, the food and beverage, retail, even the affinity market, where we really need to have people that can speak a second language, if not third. So we need to look like our clients as well as our communities.
When we think about how glass is helping in other areas of healthcare, with electronic health records, it's really cool. So doctors can walk into the patient's room in a hospital and say, show me the vital signs, show me the input and output of fluids, show me the scans, and they're just right there, and they can see the scan as they're examining the patient. So the time with which the medical care is being delivered is so much faster than it ever was before.
One aspect of our Foresight for 14 is industry evolution. We have seen clear evidence in California, Texas, Oklahoma, across this country that when employers come together and have a common voice, they can influence the direction of legislation and regulation. And it's a world we live in. So we have to recognize that whether it's federal or state, coming together, having a voice about the issues that we care about as employers and providers is important, and we can influence the way things go. Predicting future health is one of those areas. As we look at the rapidly increasing cost of healthcare and the rapidly increasing availability of technology, the two are starting to converge. And as they come together, we look at things like using genetic testing, DNA evaluation to try to understand the future health of an individual, but we're right up against the ethic issues on that. So as much as we want to predict the future, we have to be conscious of the fact that there's some real world business issues that are facing that. This is the time to have a voice about how technology can be used in healthcare and how we can use it to help advance productivity for their customers.
Regardless of which side of the aisle you stand on, health reform in general is changing the way medicine is being delivered. And that won't change whether Republicans are successful with a repeal or major changes to the Accountable Care Act. So I'll talk a little bit about that because some of the changes that are happening with healthcare delivery models do impact workers' compensation and even disability to the extent of timely care.
Instead of telling us what to do, what is it they're trying to accomplish? What happened? And if we can engage them in that conversation, it's, yes, we can get you that report, but what is it you're trying to get at? Well, my boss saw this, he wants to know this. And now that opens a door to us, a door to say, okay, well, sure, we can get you that report. How about we also give you a benchmark that shows how you compare to other companies in your industry? Let us bring in our business intelligence group and try to give you something to compare this list we're going to give you to. And by the way, how about we bring in the head of our special investigative unit to talk to you about what all we're doing on your program so that when you give your boss the report, you can tell him all these things. That's a depth of resource. That's where they're going to feel of our depth of resource. And those opportunities come up every day if we're listening for them. And if we don't just do what they ask us to do, but stop and try to understand what is the problem they're trying to solve, and then reach out and bring someone to meet with them or send them a report or some information.